If I asked you if you'd like to look rich or poor, what would you say? Think about it. Okay, you probably didn't have to think about it. You said, I want to look rich. Well, of course you would, because why would we want other people to think we're poor? But bear with me now, I'm not crazy, and yeah, maybe poor sounds like an exaggeration. It's not like you need to wear broken clothes or no clothes at all. But the truth is, looking poor has so many advantages, and it's much more than simply saving more money. Looking rich, on the other hand, is something that most of us want, but still it always gets in the way of becoming rich. Now, my channel is about personal finance and investing, so it's not like I'm pretending I want to be poor or everybody should be poor. But the truth is, I thought a lot about how your demeanor affects you, and guys, this is something we always underestimate. First of all, you can really use your demeanor like a tool. And look, I'm not here to condemn every attempt to show off wealth. In fact, there are some situations in which looking rich can actually help you achieve something. Take, for example, if you're a real estate businessman. You can go to a bank and ask for a loan dressed as the Wolf of Wall Street, or you can go begging with a $100 suit like Ray Kroc, or even worse, maybe in jeans and t-shirt. Of course, you're gonna get your loan if you give the bank the impression that you're a successful person. Because banks always want their money back. With interest. Or maybe you just graduated and you go to an interview. I wouldn't really suggest you go dressed like a painter because most likely you're not gonna get the job. Yes, movie stories don't usually really work in real life. Sometimes you can even get some fringe benefits. For example, if you go to an airline counter and you're flying coach, but you dress business and you are very polite and friendly, you might get an upgrade to business class. And I think this happens more likely than if you were just wearing a baseball cap and a t-shirt. Or you can go dressed like a pilot and pretend to be a pilot and fly for free. But alright, maybe I'm exaggerating now. However, in most situations in life, dressing poorer is gonna be an advantage. The first one that comes to my mind might be trivial, but nobody's gonna try to mug you. There are tens of thousands of cases of robbery and mugging in the United States every year. And I don't know if you've ever been mugged, but it's not a nice experience and it happens much more often than you think. Maybe the chance of it happening to you is not so high, and you probably don't necessarily walk around dressed in gold and diamonds like a rapper, but still, flying under the radar is never a bad idea because good people are attracted to money, but also bad people. And we don't want them buzzing around like a wasp at a picnic. So these were maybe all trivial reasons for looking poor or rich, but I think that what really matters about looking poor is the effect that you have on yourself and on others. When I was 18, I wanted to look rich. I mean, it's not like I loved shiny things like rapper style, but I was crazy for wearing designer clothes, and I thought that if I didn't, I would be judged by the society by the way I looked. And in fact, in some way, I was. When you're a teenager, let's say it, you want to fit in with your friends, and usually appearance works pretty well. But what about if you're 20? What about if you're 30? If you break it down, there are two kinds of people. People that like to be flashy and people that don't. So these two kinds of people are going to be the ones seeing you and judging you by the way you look. So ask yourself, if you try to look rich by wearing designer brands, expensive clothes, or even just by bragging about money, what kind of response are you gonna get from these two kinds of people? People that love flashy things are probably gonna envy you, so there's nothing to gain there. Maybe they wouldn't do it on purpose, but they probably try to use you or your position. Maybe a friend who goes out with you just to be seen in a different way. Or a girl that might even think she's attracted to you, when instead is attracted to your appearances. And what about the people that instead don't put any value in luxury stuff? In best case scenario, you're not gonna give any better impression by being flashy. And worst case scenario, they're gonna realize that you don't have as much money as you show, because the truth is, everybody knows that poor is flashy, rich is loud, and wealth is quiet. You may have noticed this. People with poorer financial conditions don't dress worse than rich people. In fact, most of the times, they are the ones that wear fashion labels. A poor way of looking at money is that it buys you stuff. If your goal, the reason why you want to have money or why you have money is that you want to buy stuff, you're never gonna be wealthy. So the challenge with flashy is that best case scenario, you stay poor. Worst case scenario, it puts you into debt. And don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing someone for being poor. I'd be crazy if I did. And I know that not all people that are not wealthy like to spend money on useless things. But the ones that do, they're actually damaging themselves. I got a friend that is really the ultimate example of a flashy poor person. I'm gonna call him Roger because he's much bigger than me, and if you talk bad about someone in YouTube,
you make him dangerous.
This guy is over 30, lives in a flat with 3 other flatmates, and lives in a kind of poor part of the city and works in the assembly line of a famous car manufacturer. So far, nothing wrong. Now, he spends 10 hours a day with really uncomfortable shifts mounting together pieces of car brakes. Basically like Modern Times by Charlie Chaplin, if you're old enough and lucky enough to know him. And since his job is so frustrating and hard, he gets quite a bit of money for having no qualification. Now, the problem is this. This guy drives a Porsche 911 and spends half of his salary for it every month. Plus, he has a girlfriend that is, I would say, as flashy as he is, and he got used to this lifestyle, so he buys her purses and branded stuff every month. So basically, every cent he works for, 10 hard hours a day, goes to fueling this lifestyle. And for what? To show people a wealth it doesn't possess. And the crazy thing is, when he talks to me about this problem, his solution is always working extra hours. Taking it down a notch with the expenses? No way. So if you want to be like my friend Roger, this is the formula. Work hard and give away your valuable time just to be able to afford something you don't need, to show to people you don't know something that you don't have. And if your own money is not enough, don't worry. Get a credit to lease your car or pay for everything on installments. So if you like to be flashy or look rich, I think you really need to ask yourself, how are people really gonna see me? Am I gonna fool them? Am I gonna get an advantage out of that? Or is it just gonna create stress, problems, and suck my paycheck dry every month? And look, this is also valid for rich people. Poor people might be flashy sometimes, but rich is loud. And this is the difference between poor, rich, and wealthy mentality. People with a poor mentality buy flashy things because they want to show they have money. But rich people love to scream about it. So even if you do have a lot of money, maybe your employer gave you a fat bonus or you had a great month with your business, just don't be loud. You see it every day on television. Rappers, boxers, entertainment personalities. Television is full of rich people that scream how rich they are. And the trouble with having money and being loud about it is that it pisses people off. So instead of people falling in love with the person you are, they envy you, and if they know you, they try to use you. So this takes us to the most important reason for looking poor. And this is not how it's gonna affect the others, but how it's gonna affect you. Some of the richest people I met look incredibly poor. I've got a friend, for example, that has a 50 million portfolio and he's the coolest, simplest person in the world. You could never understand how much money this guy has if you judge him by the car he drives or the way he dresses. But still, everybody loves him, respects him, and never tries to use him. And I think that this is because the very fact that he has so much to brag about, but still he doesn't, is what elevates him. I could give you millions of examples from famous people. Look, for example, at Warren Buffett, or Elon Musk, or Mark Zuckerberg. Notice that the most influential, brilliant, and intelligent people all know that being flashy or loud is wrong. This is real financial wealth. Real wealth is not about how much money you have to waste on dumb stuff. It's not about making people jealous or having to deal with fake friendships and people that try to use you. Real wealth is about using your time to do the work you enjoy without financial worries. When you realize that focusing less on appearances and more on yourself is the best way to become wealthy, you start seeing thousands of possibilities around you to help you achieve that. Because the truth is, money is not supposed to give you trouble. It's supposed to free you from it. And the more luxury or appearance you put into the mix, the less time, money, and energy you're gonna have to focus on what can really make you wealthy. So how do you do that? Well, there are many ways to invest in yourself, and none of them includes wasting money. For example, you can invest in yourself by taking on a new qualification or a seminar. Although, of course, you have to be careful what kind of seminar you choose. You can also start a side hustle like I did with YouTube, and probably you're gonna have more luck than me. Or even better, a side hustle that generates cash flow right away. You can invest in assets, it could be a flat that you buy and rent, or stocks or ETFs. Whatever you do to make your money productive takes you one step closer to being financially free. But on the other hand, each dollar that you spend on showing off how rich you are takes you one step farther away and closer to debts. Except if you show off because you're a scammer and you want to sell a course about how to make money fast, but yeah, not the best idea. So this is the path that I believe is the best. So bear with me now. You can choose to own less stuff so you can have less debt. With less debt, you have more choices. With more choices, you can choose life, family, and things that give you true meaning, like a business or a work that makes you happy. I think you can tell fairly quickly from someone's demeanor if they're actually wealthy or not. And when they are, they usually don't have this need to tell everyone. So this is why I believe that the most important effect that you're gonna have by looking poor is the effect that you're gonna have on yourself. You're gonna realize how many possibilities life offers to become wealthier, happier, and also have better relationships with people that are not there because of the money they think you have. There is a book I've read which is called The Millionaire Next Door, and in a few words, this book talks about the fact that there is a huge portion of wealthy people that you could never imagine how rich they are because they're quiet. You don't hear about them, you don't see them flashing a $200,000 car, but they can do whatever they want, they can go on vacation their whole life, travel the world because they have nothing to worry about, and they can buy whatever they want, whenever they want. It's a really good book, read it if you can, it's a quick read, and it doesn't even cost much. Now, if you really want to become wealthy, focus on building wealth instead of appearances. Looking poor and even living below your means is going to be an important ingredient for success, And if you want to become wealthy and have a happier life, the next video you should check out is the one in which I explain how I use frugality to make me happier. I'm gonna link it here and in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it till here, let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. And of course, if you're interested in finance, investing in business, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I wish you a great day, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!